We now have people wanting to watch golf because of her. We saw the kind of offer that Ice Cube made to Caitlyn to play in the Big Three. That is
Caitlin Clark's decision to turn down a $5 million offer from the rival league, known for its flashy pitch to female basketball players, is nothing short of a bombshell. She has made it clear that her refusal isn't about personal gain, it's about something far more profound: her loyalty to the WNBA and her belief in its potential for growth. This isn't simply a decision based on money, it's a statement, a direct challenge to the way women's sports, especially women's basketball, have been undervalued for far too long. This unprecedented offer from the rival league, a league co-founded by basketball moguls, including the likes of Ice Cube, was designed to lure Clark away from the WNBA by offering her a remarkable sum of money for a shorter playing season. Caitlyn was offered a cool $5 million for just 3 months of play. This was an offer that would make any athlete, regardless of the sport, raise their eyebrows. It's enough to change anyone's life, and certainly enough to make Clark's fans, as well as the public, wonder whether she would take the plunge into a new league that seemed to promise more financial rewards. But Caitlin Clark turned it down without a second thought, making one of the most telling and significant statements in women's sports. She isn't walking away from the WNBA because of money, she's walking away from the rival league because of the values that it stands for, or more accurately, the lack thereof. Clark's loyalty lies with the WNBA and the future of the league. The WNBA, despite its growing popularity and increasing attention, has struggled to truly value its athletes in the way that they deserve. The league, despite having produced some of the most exceptional talent in the world, still operates under a system where financial compensation doesn't reflect the worth of these athletes, and that's something Caitlin Clark is unwilling to overlook. While the offer from the rival league was substantial, Caitlin Clark has been very clear about why she declined it. She believes in the future of the WNBA and its ability to evolve into a true powerhouse. She's not willing to abandon her place in the league to chase a quick paycheck in a league that, at its core, still seems more interested in spectacle and marketing gimmicks than the sport itself. This was a direct rebuttal not just to the rival league's offer, but to the sports world's tendency to undermine the value of women athletes. By walking away from that $1 million offer, Caitlin is setting a new precedent in the sports world. She's making it known that athletes like her, athletes who can change the game both on and off the court, deserve better. It's not just about Caitlin Clark's personal career, it's about something much bigger. She has become the face of a movement that demands better for women's sports, better for female athletes. She's changing the narrative, one that has often seen women's sports as secondary or niche. In a time when women's sports are finally beginning to gain traction, Caitlin's decision shows that she's thinking about the long-term impact she can have on the sport as a whole. Let's not forget how Clark's presence in the WNBA has already altered the landscape. When she entered the league, Caitlin Clark did more than just raise awareness for the WNBA. She single-handedly boosted ratings, attendance, and merchandise sales. Her jersey became one of the top-selling pieces of merchandise for the league, and her impact was felt far beyond the court. The Indiana Fever, a team that had previously struggled to fill its stands, went on to sell out 5 games in a row after Caitlin joined the league. Her star power has translated into financial success for the WNBA, with viewership for the All-Star Game skyrocketing by an impressive 300%. Yet, despite the undeniable influence Caitlin Clark has had on the league's popularity, the WNBA offered her a contract that barely reflected the magnitude of her contribution. The initial offer, a base salary of $76,535 for the first year, with a 4-year contract totaling $338,500. In the world of professional sports, this figure is laughable, especially when compared to the money being thrown at athletes in other leagues. For context, Caitlin Clark was offered $5 million to play 3 months of basketball in the rival league, a sum that dwarfs what the WNBA was offering. How on earth could the WNBA expect to keep its best talent when it's essentially offering monopoly money in comparison to what rival leagues are willing to pay? The disparity between salaries in the NBA and WNBA is glaring. It's no secret that the NBA generates far more revenue than the WNBA, but this isn't just about money, it's about fairness. The WNBA's financial structure and policies seem to be stuck in a time warp, paying its athletes like it's still the 1990s. The average rookie salary in the WNBA is just $74,000, barely enough to cover student loans, let alone compensate players for the immense talent, effort, and influence they bring to the court. Compare that to the NBA, where even bench warmers earn far more than the WNBA's top stars. That disparity in pay isn't just a financial issue, it's a cultural issue. It reflects the long-standing devaluation of women's sports. The WNBA's inability or unwillingness to address this issue makes it harder for the league to retain top-tier talent. Athletes like Caitlin Clark are being pushed to look elsewhere for opportunities that will provide them with financial stability, as well as the respect and recognition they deserve. Caitlin Clark has shown time and time again that she's capable of making a lasting impact. She's already broken records, set new standards, and captured the attention of fans across the globe. She's not just a basketball player, she's a cultural icon. Her influence extends beyond the court, as she's managed to captivate audiences from all walks of life. Caitlin has made women's basketball cool again. She's created a buzz around the game, and that buzz has translated into real-world financial benefits for the league and its sponsors. Despite her undeniable influence, Caitlin Clark's journey hasn't been without its challenges. The WNBA, while it provided the platform for Caitlin's career to flourish, hasn't always been supportive of her rise to stardom. She's faced criticism from other players and been subjected to the same kind of scrutiny and adversity that many women in sports experience. Yet she's stayed focused, and her refusal to leave the WNBA, despite the tantalizing offer from the rival league, proves her commitment to making the league better for future generations of players. The rival league's offer to Caitlin was more than just about playing basketball. It was a marketing move, a way to boost the league's visibility by bringing in someone who has the kind of star power that can transform an organization. The rival league didn't want Caitlin Clark because of her skill on the court. They wanted her because she's a headline waiting to happen. They wanted her to bring instant credibility and draw attention to their fledgling league. Caitlin saw through that, and her rejection wasn't just about money. It was about making sure that she wasn't just another pawn in someone else's game. Caitlin Clark's refusal to accept the rival league's offer is a statement on behalf of every woman athlete who has ever been told her worth doesn't measure up to that of her male counterparts. It's a challenge to the status quo and a call to action for leagues like the WNBA to step up and start treating their athletes with the respect and financial recognition they deserve. If the WNBA and women's sports in general want to continue growing and thriving, they need to start paying their athletes what they're worth. And Caitlin Clark isn't going to let them forget it. Caitlin's decision was strategic. It was a declaration that she's not just in this for the short-term payoff. She's focused on building a legacy, not just for herself, but for women's basketball as a whole. She has made it clear that she's not interested in being a short-term solution for someone else's marketing plan. She's interested in long-term growth for both herself and for the future of the sport. She's setting the stage for a new era in women's basketball, one where players are valued, respected, and compensated fairly. By turning down that offer, Caitlin Clark isn't just refusing a contract. She's rewriting the rules for female athletes. She's sending a message to the WNBA, to other leagues, and to the entire sports world. If you want the best, you need to come correct. And if you don't, well, you'll be left behind. Caitlin Clark has spoken. The sports world better start listening.